Okay, let's see. Taking care of self. That's the theme today. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. And you're going to be hearing the bird in the background. So what's up? Other than the noise that's coming from somebody, you know who that is. And I'm gonna make mistakes. Okay, so today I'm sure you're wondering, maybe you don't really care, right? What have I been doing all day? I have been taking care of myself. And how I've been doing that is just, just doing me. Yeah. And taking walks, being out in the sunshine, that's important. Coming to the piano and trying to remember some of the old songs I used to play. Oh, that bird's gonna drive me nuts. Like, go to bed, bird. Please, just go to bed. Just go to bed. So, yes, he's driving me nuts. I want to play my piano. And he's up there chattering away like... Unbelievable. Can't have no peace and quiet around here. Yeah. And I'm not going to be perfect on the piano. I already said that. Doesn't help with a bird screeching to remember anything. You see what I'm saying? I gotta go back to really playing. I could tell. I need some more. Oh yeah, I need help. I need some help. Anyway. I'm gonna stop at the piano right now because I can't listen to this screech owl in the back. We're gonna go somewhere else and talk. That's what we're gonna do. Yes, we are, because you are making way too much noise, and for some reason it says I have a slow connection in my own house. So we're gonna go and we're gonna talk somewhere else. So I hope you all are doing well. Yeah, I mean, I have to try to really work hard at just getting myself back in the swing of life, you know what I mean? So you all are saying, like, well, maybe you don't really care. Like, what what did I do today for self-care? And why am I doing it for self-care? Well, let me tell you why, all right? Let me tell you why. Let me get set up here. Let me tell you why you have to do self-care every now and then. It's because the world drives you insane in the membrane. And people can drive you insane too. I'm trying to get this thing to lower a little bit so I could, yeah. All right, that should be better. How's that? Looking good? What is that? Louisa! How are you? I hope everything is good. So I was trying to just, brush up on my piano, because I have not played my piano in years. And I'm so rusty. I'm not going to let that be discouraging, of course. But I am very rusty. I'm better at the drums right now, whereas I used to be pretty good at the piano. My left hand doesn't want to do what my right hand wants it to do, and I can't remember any of the melodies that I used to play. I used to write my own music, actually. Not write, take a pen and write it. I used to create my own music back in the day. Yes, I did. A lot of discouraging things. So I want to, you probably would like to know, like, how long ago was that? 35 years ago. 35 years ago, I used to do my own music. I had a few bands that I was in. They were reggae bands. When I was younger, I had a rock and roll band that I was a drummer in. But 35 years ago, I was creating, I had just got into the reggae genre of music, and I started creating my own songs, and I played keyboards in my own band, and I sang, and the problem that I had, and I went through like several bands, is the musicians. Once you bring them in, especially ones that don't really know what they're doing either, and then you bring them into the band, and then they, jumpstart something, and you bring them in the band, and you want to be an original artist. You don't want to be a cover tune person. I didn't want to be a cover tune person. I just wanted to be me. I just wanted to play what I knew, what I wanted to play. And my mistake, when I look back on it, some of the musicians were good and they went along with the program. But then you had a few, there's always going to be a few people who come into the band and want to change it. And they're not skilled. They're not skilled people. I was learning, so I wasn't that skilled. So I kind of got influenced, or maybe that's not the right word. I kind of let them control things. That's one of the downfalls of dealing with people and trusting them, is you tend to let them run you and run how things go. It took me a few years to realize what was happening, and even the skilled musicians were having a hard time staying, because they felt like, here they are, top-notch musicians, bass player, drummer, because I didn't play drums in the band. I was doing my own, I was doing keyboards and my congas every now and then, and tambourine, percussion type things, and singing. And the reason I was playing the keyboards was because that's the only way I could get the band to play what I want them to play, right? And I lost my train of thought there, but basically you get people in the band who want to change things and mess it up for those of us who just want to stay where we were, creating something, you know. So after the third or fourth band, and that means different musicians coming and going. The good ones would go because they didn't want to hear from the ones that weren't that good. And I don't blame them, because I was like, why is it so difficult? It's not supposed to be like that. People should want to play music and not try to tell somebody else how to do their thing. But that's what was happening. That's my point of view, of course. Somebody else might say it was different, but I created it. I named it. Therefore, you come in to play with me, you're supposed to enhance me, help me if I was, help me if you're skilled. But if you're not as skilled and you're less than what I was doing and you try to change what I'm doing, you gotta go out the door. Now, I'm no professional, for sure. I know I'm not. At least not on the keyboards anyway. But I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted to hear. I had the basic element, chord structure of the song, and I had the lyrics, and I was singing it. So I knew what I wanted. All you're supposed to do is come in and enhance it. So if you're skilled, if you're a better keyboard player than me, you take my chord structure, you get on the keyboard and you play it, right? That's how it should be. Or if you're a saxophonist, you know the chord structure and you enhance it. If you're a horn player, you the same thing. Guitar player, you're supposed to know that. Take the chord structure and create something. And then all I have to do is sing the song. Because once I hear the melody, I know exactly where I'm going with it. And that was just so difficult for some people. Why I had them in my band, I have no idea. But like I said, it was a learning experience. Definitely was. So I crashed the bands. The last one I crashed probably in 1997. I want to say 96. So I'll be fair to say 96. I had this guitar player in the band that, nightmare. Talk about nightmares. I still have nightmares thinking about all the things I went through with this person in the band, and just in my life in general. Like, why? What was that wake-up call all about? But you get people in your life where you have to learn lessons from. And I would have to say that it was an intense lesson that I had to learn about people like that. And guess what? I learned it. I learned what those kind of people, their negativity, their pessimistic control. There's so many names and categories I could put this particular person in. And yeah, I had to learn it all. I had to learn it all. And I really, 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 really had to learn it all. That's all I could say. And then after I got done doing all of that, hey, Troy, how are you? I was with your cousin this weekend. Yesterday. But we'll talk about that later. Yeah, like I had to learn, like, you don't need people like that in your life. You really don't. But I didn't know at the time. I was naive. I was gullible. And yeah, there's so much I could say about it. But once I crashed the band and I said, I'm done. I even left the band room that I was paying for. I went to the landlord and I said, listen, you see that person in the band room? Put it in his hands. Let him deal with it, because he thinks it's his band. Let him have it. I'm out of here. I'm breaking the contract. I'm done. And that is the key thing in my life. When I say I'm done with you, I am done with you. Hey, Linda, sissy. Yes, when I am done, I am done. If you're not there in my life to enhance or make my life better, and I already learned my lesson from being around that, I'm done. You're lucky I didn't bring out the cutlass and go. The only reason I don't do it is because, I have like these little angels that sit on my shoulder. I have the one over here saying, no, you need to go do it. Get the cutlass, cut off the head. Just like you cut off the head of the snake. And then I got the good little angel over here saying, no, 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 you know better. God will take care of that. John knows best. You just stay right there and don't worry about a thing. And that's how I learned the lesson. I listened to the good angel. I didn't listen to this one over here. This one over here had to go too. Yeah, this angel over here had to be thrown out the window and let them go fly somewhere else. Yeah, so, yeah, that was my music journey. About 35 years to up to 35 years ago, give or take a few years. I was doing music for quite a while, as well as I was doing radio and TV production. I went to school for recording arts and TV and radio. So I had a few things going on in my life where I had other things to do. I don't know how I got caught up with people in my life but like I said, it's a lesson. You learn. You just got to go through it. And once you've learned it, you have to move on from it and not let anyone distract you from what you got to do. Like right now. Right now, I am solo. Whatever I'm doing, I am staying alone with my journey. Because that way, no one can tell me how my music goes, how my drumming goes. If I want to play the wrong key on the piano, I'm going to play the wrong key on the piano. Well, I'm not going to really, but if I get back into playing the piano like I was doing, and I make mistakes and I record it and I put it up for you to hear, I'm leaving it. Because it's all a learning experience for you to see that you can make mistakes. And there are songs out there in the world that I've heard that make my ears go, but they're out there. And that's because everything is art. Everything is music. Even the worst music in the world is still music. It works for everyone. And my thing is I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to do me. Even my art, when I'm painting, I only took art classes back in high school. And my teacher said to me, you are an artist naturally. You don't need me as a teacher to tell you how to paint. I just told you go paint that picture. We were doing impressionist artist painting. And that means you take an artist that you really are into, and you have to take a painting they did and try to duplicate that your way and make it your art. And I did that with Van Gogh. I think it was called The Boy at the Watering Hole. Of course, there was a naked boy and a horse. I'm not sure what the exact name of the picture was. And I painted the whole thing exactly like it was, with texture and my way. And the teacher said, are you sure you painted that? And I said, of course I painted it. You saw me painting. I only paint here in the class. He goes, well, where did you learn how to do that? I said, I don't know. It just comes into me. And it just happens. So that is how music is to me as well. I create what is coming into me. And that is my art. Whether it's music, piano, drums, whatever, or just walking down the street, that is my art. If I'm walking down and I look like a piece of art walking down the street, that's me. I'm art. And so today, I got up this morning and I said, don't do too much on Facebook and Instagram and wherever. Don't do too much. Just keep it simple and do it, and then go do something for yourself. So what I did was I took a long walk and enjoyed the day by myself. It was a beautiful day too. It wasn't too cold. And I sat down on different benches and just enjoyed the ambiance, the sunshine, the fresh air, because lately, you all know, it ain't been too nice. It's been cold. It's been freezing. We've had snow, which I don't mind, but I do mind when it turns into ice. I haven't been able to drive because my car was frozen into the ice. Now it's thawed out, so tomorrow me and my car are going to spend some time together. Go get a car wash and register. I got to do my registration and a whole bunch of registry type things tomorrow. So I will take the car out tomorrow. But today I spent time with me. I probably shouldn't even be on here talking to you all right now. I still should be spending time with me and maybe painting my picture I started. And I will, maybe later. But there was something that came across me that said, you got to share this information. You got to share this with people, because there are people out there who are having a hard time and can't get through their day, and they don't know how to just be alone with themselves. They think they need other people to validate them. I'm not that kind of person. You don't have to like anything I do. You don't have to validate me. Yeah, it's nice if you do, but you don't have to. I'm happy with me, myself, and I. I'm happy. And if that can help you to be happy with yourself, so be it. I've done my job, right? Exactly. So in this stage of my life, I'm enjoying just being me. Free as a bird. Like my book that I'll write someday, The Caged Angel. The caged angel eventually becomes free and is not in a cage anymore, not being controlled by other species of people and animals. She is free. She is free to be herself, free to fly wherever she wants to, into whatever tree she wants to fly into. And that's the stage that I'm at right now in my life. Do I need a person around me to validate what I do? Oh, no, I do not. I do not. I have friends. I will make friends along my journey, but I don't need you. I don't need somebody standing beside me telling me, oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. Oh, no, it goes that way. It goes that way. No, you're doing it all wrong. I do not need that. That's when I'll bring out my cutlass and just mow you down. If you're a big tree, I'm a small axe, and I will chop you down. Chop you right down to the ground for you to start over. I don't need that. I've had too many people trying to do that throughout my lifetime, and I am not having it. Not. So that's my journey right now, being free to just be me. If you happen to come along and you are in my journey and you are the kind of person who's enhancing who I am by being there, Like I have some people on one of the bands that I play in occasionally. All they do is just let me be me. Just let me play my drum and be happy. And if I'm helping them by being there, hey, we're all doing good, right? Yeah, you just have to allow me to be me. And I learn so much faster if I'm learning something new when you allow me to just be me. Yeah. And that's what the problem is with human beings. And I say humans because animals don't do it. Well, let me take that back. My bird tries to control me. And that's why I left the room, because he was trying to control my video. Whether anyone wants to believe that or not, this bird does try to control things. He thinks that whole room belongs to him. And I just had to tell him no. Now he's probably in his cage right now because I left. But human beings are the ones that try to control another human being. And they also try to control animals and places and things. When you are... Let's talk about relationships, because I've been having a lot of people text me and say, can you talk about that? I didn't want to talk about that today, but it does come up in this scenario. When people are controlling others in a relationship, it becomes one-sided, because the person who wants to just be creative and free and just be loving and kind and all of that, the other person can't handle it. And they try to control and try to dictate to the person who's being their free spirit, or the one that's love, how life is supposed to be. And that's what humans do. Not all. I mean, I'm only using this as a scenario for you to learn from. If you try to tell another person to make your life better, you have to do A, B, and C, that's control. You don't have to tell that person to do A, B, and C. This person will know to make their relationship better that they will do A, B, and C without you ever saying a thing. Just by you being who you're supposed to be doing your ABCs. And that's how it goes. But there's so much going on in the world with control. It's unbelievable how people are. People are something else, for real. So, I had a few incidences where I was supposed to help somebody solve a problem. And I had to tell them, I said, yo, you got to learn your lesson. That's the only way I can help you with your problem. You have to learn that what you're doing is being controlled by other people. And when you're being controlled by other people, you're bringing that into the fold for the next person that comes into your life that you want to be there, because you're going to try to control them or tell them that they have to do blah, 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 because somebody else made you do that. I'm trying to keep it light. You know what I mean, folks? And the person couldn't handle the answer that they got. And I said, yo, that's the way it goes. So if you're going to ask me a question, you got to be able to handle the answer. That's the way it goes. Or just don't, well, maybe you don't have to handle it, because I'm not in control of what you do. I'm not in control. Only the higher power is in control of what goes on in your world, if that is even so. Because if we were sent down here to live, be creative, love, because love is a master key to all things, right? You have to love. It's not a control thing. It's about love. First, you have to love you, then you love others, right? Mm-hmm. So if we were created down here as as it is above, so below, then you have to listen when someone tells you you're going the wrong way. You don't have to stop going the wrong way, but you have to hear it. And you can't take what you're doing when you're going the wrong way and make the other person who's trying to help you or be there with you or walk that path with you. You can't tell that person they have to go down the wrong path with you. And how do I know that? Because I've already been there, done that. You know, I've learned that lesson. You don't have to go down that road. You can disconnect at any given time. See, some people can't do that. Because I'm an Aquarius, I'm an Aquarian, I can. I see things, I know things, I've been through things, and we are the power above, not power as in we control anything, because we don't, but we are like the mother and father of cosmos. And we will let you be free to learn your lessons. But once you start trying to interfere with our lessons, we're done. We're done, folks. You didn't want to learn in the first place. So, you know, go ahead. Yeah, no hard feelings. Go learn your lesson. When you're done learning, come back and talk to me. We'll see if let's see if by then you can understand what I tried to help you to learn. Now, am I perfect? Oh, hell yeah. Well, yeah, I swore. Because I'm above that. I'm above hell. So, hell yeah, because I'm up. I know it's a wrong choice of words, but whatever. That's me being me. I can say what I want to say, when I want to say it, how I want to say it, and nothing or anyone can change that thought process. It is what it is, as my mom would say. Speaking of moms, it was her birthday yesterday. I tried to do a live feed for you all, but I didn't let people know. I'm not that kind of person. I don't let people know what I'm doing. I just do it impulsively, just roll with the feelings of whatever's going to happen. And I had my eldest son with me, and I just got the spirit come over me saying, do a live feed right now. Maybe people want to say happy birthday. Of course, you know, afterwards I hear from people saying, you should have let us know. I don't work like that. So sorry, folks. Sorry. I don't plan things. I just do it when I feel like doing it. Like right now, I'm not out walking and doing my live feed like I normally would do, right? No, I'm here in my house because I'm in, and I said to myself, you know, you have to talk to the people. Or I really probably should say a spirit came over me and said, you got to talk to the people. You got to talk. You got to say something. So here I am. I'm talking to you in my space. And that's what I did today. I had my space. From the moment I woke up till the moment I'm sitting here talking to you. And it will continue to be my space when you're not here with me later. That's right. I will always be here, but it's my space. Okay, so that was enough of that ranting, right? That was enough ranting. What have I been doing other than music? Well, recently I did a gig with Sam Balolo. That is music, so that's what I'm going to talk about because that's what I was doing, right? I played in Western Mass at a place called Montague. It's like a retreat area. Sam Balolo played there. I did try to upload some of that footage. The problem is the place, when we started playing, decided to turn all the lights off except some blue lights that are on us. and I was unable myself to do the video work. So the footage that I had one of my brothers do for me is probably going to be too dark for me to post. So I'm not going, I did post some, but there's not really that good. But you can hear the music in one of the videos. You can hear it. We did a great job. It was fantastic. I've never been put on the spot before. My brother Booba put me right on the front of the stage, right next to him, and that was like that was a test. But after I started playing, I was okay with it. And I said to him later, I said, "What'd you put me on the spotlight?" He goes, "Because you have to do it. And I want you there because you need to have that exposure." I said, "Yeah, but I'm still learning." He goes, "No, you're not." So yeah, it was fantastic. And Dylan, who is a hand drummer that I usually like to follow, so I need to see what he's doing. He was behind me. He had like 4 or 5 drums that he was playing behind me. And then the drummer was on the other side of me. And Mateo, who was doing a percussion instrument on the side of me, I just kept looking at them every now and going like this, looking back. And yeah, it was exciting. And we're going to be playing again. We're going to be playing on the 8th at the Tavern at the End of the World in Somerville. And then we're also going to be playing the next day on Sunday at the Jungle. So those are some things that are coming up. If you're interested in seeing the band Sambalolo, I really recommend you come out to one of those gigs that are in the neighborhood, and the lighting will be much better. Well, hopefully it will be, and I'll get better footage somehow. Yeah, I'm a multitasker, so most of the time I'm doing the video work while I'm playing, especially in the Jungle. I have all the cameras set up, and I sit on the floor and I videotape, right into where the band is up on the stage. This time I didn't get to do that. I had no place to put the camera, and it didn't work out too good, and that's the way it goes. And it's sad because it's a fantastic venue to play in. I mean, the music was, like, if I say music was good, lifting, it was. And we have to find a better way of capturing footage and getting the place to know that capturing what band you put up on that stage with that great sound, it's important to capture it, and that they should have the lights on, not just these random, the lights are out and then you got blue lights shining up at people. And coincidentally, we're all dressed in kind of dark colors, so you couldn't see anybody. You probably saw me, the little light speck on the stage because my light was shining bright. But yeah, it was fun. It was still fun regardless. It was an experience for real. And the other thing I'm doing is, hi, Booba. I was just talking about the band. I was just talking about when we were in Montague and how, it was really dark to get the perfect footage. But we'll be going back out there again, right? So we'll figure out how we're going to make that happen. I'll have to get a better tripod or something and put the camera on it in front of the stage and not while we're off to the side. But I'll figure it out. I always figure it out. But we'll get good footage on Saturday and Sunday, definitely, because I always know exactly where to put the camera on Sunday at the Jungle. Well, not just on Sundays, but whenever we play there at the Jungle. So those are the 2 upcoming gigs for sure. And again, it was an exciting experience. Yes, my brother Booba put me on the spot, but I got over it. He's lucky I don't have stage fright. I got over it. I enjoyed every minute of playing, every second of playing, and it was awesome. The other thing that I'm going to continue to do, as I tell you all many times, is keep painting. If you have a painting of a scene, outdoor scenery, trees I love to paint, water I love to paint, waterfalls, anything like that you think would be interesting for me to paint, I love to see it and have the option to be able to do that. Feel free to send it in a text and we'll do it. I could add people into these paintings. I don't really want to paint people by choice. My eyes are, and I'll explain why. My eyes are not so good anymore. So people become detailed. And to paint the details of a person make it very hard for my eyes. Like I was painting a couple of deer in my last painting that I did. And it was really, really tricky because I had to get the eyes and the ears just right. Animals were a little easier. There's not as much detail. Now, I'm not saying that I can't do it. I'm saying that it's difficult for me. And nature is not so difficult because if I make a mistake, you would never know. It's scenery, it's trees, it's mountain, it's water. It's just about me blending the colors. So that's why I prefer to do those kind of paintings. So I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to practice my drumming. I've been working on the kit drumming. I've been working on my congas because I haven't played them in over 30-something years. So I'm just getting back into them. They're not too much difficult. It's just I have to stand up, and I don't like standing when I'm playing. So I've been playing them, my bongos and my djembe. I'm getting a new djembe soon, so I'm excited about that. And I have a djembe that needs to have repairs done that one of my other brothers is going to help me do. So that's where I'm at. That's being me. Free as a bird. Free as a bird. Yes, sirree. I was talking to my brother the other day when we were riding to Montague about, people, relationships, and stuff like that. We were talking about things like that. And we were discussing how come I don't have nobody. It's been like 6 years now since Glenn has been gone. And I said, because I'm good. After Glenn, no one could compete with him anyways. Like, you got to come real good. I got to see all your credentials. You come into my life. I got to see your passport. I got to see your motor vehicles. Everything. No, not just that. His personality is the kind of personality I just don't see how anything else is going to change that. Like, how are you going to change my brainwave around that? I'm not saying you can't. Just saying, I'm good. I'm good. There's too many disappointing factors when you're dealing with relationships. It's just too many. It's just too many factors. People disappoint you all the time. They'll say they're coming to visit, or they're coming, or they're going to take you here, you're going to take you there, and then they never show up. I've had that happen to me before. I don't really expect anything from anyone, but still, if you say you're taking me to the movies, dude, you better show up, because I'll go to the movies by myself. All by myself, and leave you and not even tell you where I went. My door is closed. That's the way, that's how I roll. You say let's go eat. You're going to pick me up at 7 and you show up at 10. I'm gone because I'm hungry at 7. I'm gone. I'm going to go feed myself. And I'll get back before 10, but I don't know that you're coming at 10, right? Because you said you was coming when? 7. So when you come, I'm going to say, I ain't hungry no more. Matter of fact, I might not even open the door. So those are the kind of things that I don't want to put up with anymore. I don't want to deal with the wavering of how people are. I just don't want to do it. I just want to be me. I just want to roll. I want to do what I'm doing and be free. Yeah. Yeah. Because I've had many relationships because I did have a lot of children. And they didn't pan out, Not saying that's good or bad because they were all lessons. It was all part of life. It's all part of what it is. But the whole major thing about it was those people, other than Glenn, did not understand who I am. And they put me through too much, But trust me, they're lucky they're still alive. Who's that? Thomas, how are you? Yes, my good friend Thomas. Yeah, I mean, I didn't chop nobody down yet. I wouldn't do that. You'd have to be real bad because the one person I talked about earlier in this video, and that was in my band, I'll tell you, if he's still alive, there's hope for anybody. Even though if that person came around me now, I probably would chop his head off or right down to his balls. Oh, yes, I did say that. Yes. I'm not violent, but there's some people, man, that just push you in that. They just push you there. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Sometimes things just come out my mouth. And I apologize. I will apologize for that. So, yeah. Life is what it is. And life is what you make it. Life is beautiful. At least for me it is. I don't know about you, but I know for sure it's beautiful in my world. And I say at this stage of the game, I don't want to put up with anything that isn't bringing me sunshine. Anything that doesn't bring me love, and I'm not talking about one-on-one love, like I love you, you love me. Nah. I'm talking about one love. I'm talking about peaceful love. I'm talking about the ambiance of love. That's the only thing that could be in my life. And if that isn't there, forget about it. Forget about it. As my granddaughter used to say, how'd she say it? Forget about it. She couldn't say all the letters. She just turned 15, but that was when she was like, she was about 1 year old, 2 years old when she was learning to talk. She would watch the, what is, I always want to call him a chameleon. Well, he looks, the little green, what was that for? Geico, yeah. The little green Geico. And he would say, forget about it. She couldn't say that. So she'd go, bad about it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, life is what it is. But definitely, I hope that you all can come out if you're able and see Sambalolo. That's the only band I'm really playing in right now, other than me just playing my drums on my own. And I'm going to continue to do my own thing because that's the only way I can improve. I sometimes go to the Cantab Lounge. I haven't been down there in a while. I used to take my djembe or my bongos down there. Everybody's happy when I do that. But the weather's been kind of like, who wants to go out there and drag all your instruments out and fall your ass on the snow or the ice, right? No. My big brother, Sir Cecil, is down there, and he's the one that keeps saying, you got to come down and bring your drum. And I will, when the weather gets a little warmer, I'll be down there. And I go down there because I like to play rock and roll, blues, jazz, and I love playing funk on my drums. I just love it. And eventually I will get up on the stage and play the kit drumming. Eventually. I'm not ready for that, even though you see me playing it on video. I'm just now getting back into the swing of it. You got to understand why. I played drums when I was a teenager, before I had my first son. And life was different back then, you know what I mean? And then I put the drums away when I was in my early 20s. I put them down. I even actually sold my first drum set to pay the rent. I think I've told that story before. I lived in Dorchester at the time. And then I didn't have a drum set, right? So I couldn't play, even if I wanted to. So I put it away, and then I moved to Cambridge, and then I had kids, and I tried to get my kids involved in music, and, they all had instruments, but they didn't know what to do, and life was hard back then. But I always believed that you should have instruments around for kids to be involved in it in some kind of way. Let them explore, let them learn on their own. My daughter, she did take music lessons in school, so I felt good about that. She took drums and she took xylophone, and one of my other kids took something in school too. Some of my grandchildren. But when they come here, they gravitate towards the drums, mostly the kit drumming. So that makes me happy. And the guitar, because there's a couple guitars around. Glenn's guitar and another one that the kids is a little smaller, so they could play with it. And that plenty of pianos around in my house. Plenty. Only one is available to them to play, but I have plenty. Since Glenn has been gone, I put the major keyboards away in the music room. Yeah, because I gotta have somebody come in that actually can see and hook everything back up, because I took everything down and now I can't see. I can't see where the cord goes, for crying out loud. I can't do it. So the keyboards are not up, but they're there. And when I can get someone to hook them up, then I'll be in there figuring out how to write more music. I call that writing when you're composing music. Yeah. When you're composing, I call that writing, but it's really composing. Yeah, and that's my life. Part of it. I hope that helps anyone who needs to know. But yeah, come out and see the band and watch me do my thing, or watch Boubacar Diabetes. He was just on here for a few minutes ago. Watch him perform. He's the singer in the band, and he plays the guitar. And he's doing West African music from Mali. So you will really enjoy that band. Hey, and if you live, in another state and you want this band to come, we can do that. We can be there. Just make sure the money's right. Because I'm tired of these places not paying Booba what he deserves to get. You gotta start paying up, dude. Places, because Booba is top of the line musician. He's like a composer. And he deserves to be paid big money. And the band, when they're all together, it's all part of being Booba. It's just like fantastic. I can't wait till we actually go to Africa someday, because that is in the works, that we will be going to Mali. I can't wait for that. But until that time comes, where we are, whatever state you live in, if you listen to the music and you want them, support him by buying CDs. He's on apple.com. He's also on Facebook. Well, you don't really buy it through Facebook and Instagram. He might be on Spotify. Not sure, but I know definitely when I'm selling CDs for him, you can buy them through apple.com. And support. The main thing I've been watching, and because I support artists, different artists. Like there's one artist, he's a saxophonist. His name is Chris Mitchell. You can watch him and support him. He's always going live on YouTube, as well as Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And there's other artists that I also follow and support. These artists are giving you great music, and it's important that you support them. And people like to get everything for free, but you got to think about how hard these artists are creating something for you to listen to. You've got to support them. And if it just means buying a CD, then buy a CD. If they're on live and they want gifts, gift them. Or money. You know, it's not that difficult. It might be for me only because I can't see what I'm doing, but you got to support them. I can't even express how important it is. People are not supporting artists the way they should. If a band is out playing somewhere or an artist is out performing somewhere, yeah, they're going to make buku money on it if they had a big gig. But you got to think about all the costs that are involved. You got to pay your promoters. You got to pay your musicians. You got to pay security. You got to pay probably 1,000 other things that I'm not even mentioning. Transportation, hotels, food. Food is very important. A lot of times a band will go out, and this has happened already, so I know it does happen. You go out, drive far to get somewhere, and they don't have food for you. They have water, but they ain't got no food for you. What kind of thing is that? You got to feed them, and you got to know what kind of foods they eat. Everybody's different. So they might have a band that has some vegetarians, some pescatarians, some meat eaters. You got to know what these people eat. And you better provide. You can't just give them carrot sticks and tomatoes and cucumbers. What's that going to do? They're going to go up there and burn all that out in a matter of just walking to the stage. You got to feed them. You got to give them a spread. And you got to pay them. I went to a Keith Sweat show. Now, some people say, oh, well, the show didn't finish right because they want to blame Keith Sweat for drinking on the stage. Well, he was, and I think that's part of his performance, and everybody knows that, so why are you complaining about it? If you were expecting 1,000 people to be there and only 400 showed up, I don't blame him that he went off the stage early, and whether he was drinking or not drinking. You got to sell. The promoters should be doing a better job at selling, finding ways to do that, not charging like buku cash, or because then you what happens is people can't get there because it costs too much. The people too have to be supported. I buy a ticket for $25. I got to drive 4 hours to get to the show. You better have that show going on. And you better have things around for me to eat. Not free. I'll pay for it. But you better have that. And you better have some hotels nearby. I'm just saying, everything got to work together like clockwork, you know? It's got to work together. I know too much. So I'm saying these things because this is what I see happening. Even when I was traveling with Glenn, when we would go to gigs, that was the first thing Glenn would tell a promoter right up front. I need food. I need water. I need a bed. And I need gas in my car. And I need to get paid. And he probably said a few other things too, but those are the basic things that you need. You need them. So if that went into the contract, you better have that for me. You better have it for me. So, yeah. Well, I was hoping I could play the piano for you today, but I started out with the bird bothering me and it was distracting me. So, sorry I didn't get to get that done for you. Anyhow, I'm going to end and wrap up now. I hope that you all have a good evening and you learn to do for yourself, you know. Take care of yourself because no one else is going to take care of you. It's going to be you, yourself, and you. Take care of you. And that means doing something that makes you feel good. Today, it made me feel good just being alone today. Until now, I wanted to share that with you all. I just wanted to share it with you. I hope I see some of you on Saturday at the Tavern at the End of the World in Somerville, Massachusetts. And then on Sunday at the Jungle Community Music Center in Union Square, Somerville. I will be playing with Boubacar, Diabetti. Yeah, I always say Diabetti, but it's really Diabetti. And Sambalolo. And I would love to see you all there being supportive, if you could. If not, I will see you somewhere. Maybe I'll see you as I'm walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? Oh, big up to Isaac, the barbershop next door. Yeah, my good friends are all in there. So I want to big up Isaac. Let's see, Troy Anthony's barbershop. My son. Primetime Cuts, or what is he calling himself now? Symmetry Inc. Barbershop down in Oxford, Mass. And Winter Fresh works in Troy Anthony's barbershop in Woburn. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I don't go to get my hair cut there, but those are people I support. My neighborhood friends and my children. And big up to all my kids. Troy, Nadia, Marquise, who's being a jerk right now, but big up to him anyway. And Winter Fresh and Kiana and Cyrus. So those are my kids. And all my 30-something plus grandchildren. And I'm not going to name them all because there's just way too many of them. But they know who they are. And some of you know who they are. I have all of that. And my mom. And my sisters. Linda, Nyla. And I have a brother down the Cape. Ernie. I never get to talk to him. He's like my son Marquise. It's like I never get it right with them. But anyway, big up to them anyway. And all my nephews and nieces all over the place. Yeah. Big up to everybody. Big up to you for joining me today. Yeah, big up to all of you. I will see you on the flip side. I will see you soon in the streets, literally. See ya.